Oh, I didn't get the jean memo.
Sorry.
This is the comfiest jumper ever. Ever. And
Give us a list of all the things that you've spilled.
I was just about to say, and it get every single stain that I have ever got onto this jumper has come out.
Welcome to The Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. Good morning.
Good morning.
Or afternoon.
I know
Good evening, wherever everyone.
I don't know where we're up to, but
I know everyone's
wherever you
listening to
are.
this right now.
Yes, we had a lot of
You on
new
a walk?
listeners from the United States, didn't we?
Howdy.
For the last couple of weeks.
Howdy. How very British of you. I like
Good
when people
morning.
say where they listen to the vault as in like, I do it on my school runs, which
In the
apologies for the
bath.
swearing if you do. In the bath. Like lunchtime walks.
What's
Yeah.
your go-to podcast listening?
Routine. So when I'm doing my hair or makeup,
Yes, on a
Oh.
Thursday morning.
for the
Like-
vault. Only on Thursdays. I don't listen to any of
We
this.
only listen to ourselves.
Yeah.
Very self-indulgent.
Narcissistic.
I've got like a fried dopamine system, so I need something on at all times. Like,
So
I got
background noise.
literally, example, last night, got in the shower, so it was a hair wash shower, and it was going to take a little bit of a long time. More hair chat from last week. And normally I put my phone like on the windowsill and I like prop it up and I'll put a YouTube video on. I will have a podcast on anything. My phone last night was dead. I was in the shower, I was so bored. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even have
Anything to avoid being alone with your
25-minute
thoughts.
shower.
Like.
Yeah, I can't be alone with my own thoughts.
it is like that though, isn't it? Like you can't go for a walk
Yeah,
without.
it's crazy. And Alex is literally, I'll be around the flat and I'll be like walking and I'll have my phone. I need Sabrina
Noise,
Carpenter on
yeah.
or something. And
Just
it'll be the
iPad kid.
same song on repeat. And I'm literally like, he comes around, he's like, stop. Listen to music constantly. It'll be on like volume 1, but I just need something.
You recently went for a run without music
Yeah.
when you did
Was
the
that
Manchester
intentional
Half
or
Marathon.
forgotten?
No, that was
It was
intentional
intentional.
because I had AirPods that they only last like an hour. And I was like, right, Alex was waiting for me halfway. I was like, I'm going to get to that point.
And then
It
turn
was
them
a
on.
treat. It was an incentive.
It was my like boost, which didn't even work.
It
But
did
it was
make you go
good.
super fast at the end.
No. But yeah, I was impressed by that.
Well done. And well
Thank
done
you.
on your run.
Thank you. Okay, controversial opinion time. And it's also kind of I'm going to read a community thing out.
Okay.
So, it's normal to compare your money situation to others. Do you want me to read the post out?
Yeah. Crack on.
So, is it normal to want to avoid spending time with people that unintentionally harm your self-esteem when the comparison monster creeps in? I want to be happy for them, but visiting a friend's new £1 million house when I've been on a long journey to pay off my debts and I'm still renting will 100% make me feel even worse about myself. Then I feel like I'm being a bad friend. What do you think about this?
Comparison. Like just
Thief of
each-
joy.
Oh, it literally is.
That I didn't just make that statement up, by the way. It's a common statement.
I would take that and run. It really is. Comparing yourself to others never ends well.
Never ever.
But it's very normal to do.
Oh, it's like second
It's
nature.
hard to not.
It's hard
Look at
to not
Lucy's
do.
hair. How can I sit next to Lucy and not be like...
It looks like this one day of the week.
But I've heard before, we're all the movie star of our own lives. Like, we're not self-centered. It's just literally the way we're built. Even if we're empathetic of others, everything is from our point of view. Of course it's going to be. And so it's really difficult to not compare to your situations. It could be money. It could be milestones. Fertility, massive one between friendship groups. It could be relationship if you're not in a relationship and people are, or if you are and you're jealous of other people that aren't. It's so natural to do. So it's very normal. So I would say it's not controversial to do that. So then what do you do about it? You have got to protect your mental well-being. You have to create boundaries. I think there's a little bit of work on the practical stuff, which is boundaries. And so, but you have to be able to work on it mentally to not see your friend. Like you
No,
don't
you
make
can't.
that thing into too big a deal that it stops you from being able to navigate every day and have people that have that. But I found the more okay you are with yourself, age helps. But the more okay you are with yourself, the happier you are for others without the like continuous jealousy. Like you just might have I wish I had a house like this.
Like
anyway, food. That's
quick
what you want to
pang.
be. quick pang, you allowed it, but
It might be for if you're just can't get over it for the moment because it sounds like you're still on a money journey and there's a lot that you're doing in the background. You just don't go to the house. You meet them somewhere where you don't get triggered by something.
True.
You go,
Even playing ground.
yes.
That word. Even playing field.
Level playing field, yeah. So you go, if it's eating you up and you dread going and it turns into this big
If it's a trigger. Yeah.
beast that it doesn't need to be because you're just going
so
to your friend's
true.
house.
Just dial it down
Just
a little
change-
bit. Like if they
just
like showing the
change.
house off on social media, which who wouldn't, even a nice house?
Unfollow them.
Unfollow, mute. Okay, yeah, we're not unfollow. God, you can't, Holly, you can't unfollow.
That's so
our friend.
savage. That is so
Block
savage.
them. All my friends
Mute.
do not look at whether I follow you.
Savage. No, mute them. Yeah. And you can do it for periods of time as well, can't you? Not me. Definitely not muted. I'm like, oh, I like your car.
Haven't seen
Did you not know? No. I'm kidding. I would have unfollowed and that would have been really awkward. So
I think, yeah, removing the opportunity for it to turn into the beast.
and for things like turn it into a little bit of a positive. So being, just because, they've got the £1 million house. For this person, it might be, I'm on a journey to get a house and this is hard and I really want my little castle. And it's not that you're jealous of the extravagance or the, I mean, God, that's a lot of toilets to clean in a big house that size.
Yeah. They're going to regret it.
They're going to, in fact, it's a bad thing.
Joke's on them.
Yeah, but I think using it as a little bit of motivation isn't a bad thing either. Healthy motivation for you to be like, and there'll be a moment where you will have your home and you'll invite them round and you'll host them for the first time and they'll be pleased for you and you'll be pleased for them and a little bit healthy, but
it is normal though. I think her question was like, is it normal
completely
to feel
every day
like I need to compare myself or that I don't want to go
Human
or whatever
nature.
it might be? Yeah, but you are normal. Like Laura said, the community will constantly be like, when you're on a money journey, you're so focused, anything that derails you probably feels quite big.
Yeah.
and triggering.
Yeah.
And also I think this might be slightly unrelated, but do you think they feel like a bit of like a less of a person?
Because
For
they've
example,
not got the £1 million house.
let's say I'm in Manchester, I'm going shopping. I go into Selfridges because I need a new skincare item.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so judged and like looked down on like by the staff and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, they literally think I'm like
Poor.
Am I worthy of it
Yeah.
in here? Oh my God.
Just go into Zara, you'll feel like that anyway.
Yeah, true.
This is like the Bethany Frankel and Chanel gate.
Yeah.
This is like,
yeah.
I'll show you who deserves to be in here. It's the pretty woman moment, isn't it?
I'm like, guys, I'm literally coming in to buy a £20 moisturiser.
You're like,
It's
don't worry,
fine."
I'm not a threat. I'm not going to be spending any money.
Yes.
A sharpener for my eyeliner. And I'll
Literally.
get right out.
I'm going to the food court. I want some crisps.
Could you put it in a Selfridges bag though?
But like that's only in my head.
Yes, 100%. I used to work in Selfridges, so I can
no.
can say
Is it a confirmation or a?
no. I never.
Yeah,
felt like that.
they know how much every customer who walks in has spent in the store before.
£4.
They know whether you know your way around. They know if you just come to browse. They know.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so true when people say the people that used to dress up them. So I used to work in the luxury handbag department. Obs. The people that used to dress up
didn't
the
last long.
most. No, I didn't. I left on my own terms.
I quit.
Before I got my discount as well. Idiot.
Oh.
It probably saved me a lot of money, to be fair. All my friends and family were banking on the discount, and I was like, so I've decided
Quitter.
that I'm not going to. It's
It's
like,
not for
no!
me.
We've been waiting for this moment, and you just walk out. But the people that used to dress up and try the hardest
You've got something to prove.
would
Not
not
spending
be the
money.
and so
Really?
people would not be ones not to really just browse and
Yeah.
have a look and and then the people that are so unassuming would be like, I'll just have that. I'll have 3 actually, like £800
Yeah,
bags,
true.
just like no problem whatsoever. It's
Goals.
funny, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can't never judge a book by its cover.
Goals to be so comfortable with yourself. And I
Yes.
think that also
Yeah.
goes to, spend what you want, definitely. But the comfortableness of
Yeah.
not overthinking it and being able to be happy with your bit and
Yeah,
happy with you.
but I think it shows that like you do just create comparison in your head.
Oh.
Like no one else is.
No
I'm
one is
so
thinking about
creative.
you. Like,
Yeah,
I am
everyone's too
so
busy thinking about
creative.
themselves.
When you walk down the street And you like in a movie, it's like with the umbrella and like things like in the movie.
Headphones on, strutting. Like,
Can everyone else hear this music or is it just me?
Is this a soundtrack today, guys?
Movie star of your own life. No one gives a shit. Apart from when you like trip up.
You know what was the best one? You're like driving in the car and you see someone strutting with headphones on. I'm like, yeah. I wonder what they're listening to.
Isn't there there's a TikTok trend about there's a particular like 2000s rom-com soundtrack that you should listen to where you're the star of your own life. But I think I said it, but I definitely think age helps. But also when we're fixated on a particular milestone, honestly, once you've hit it and you kind of crack on, you don't think about it.
It's soon forgotten about.
It's soon forgotten. You kind of, it's a never ending. It's a kind of never ending thing. But then combined with, I do think as you get older or more comfortable, I found the more money I have, the less I need to impress people.
Yeah,
this is genuinely thing. If I think about like, I bought a really flash car 10 years ago. Even like when I've been a lawyer, did I want to be a lawyer because I thought people would think it means I'm more impressive. It's more impressive.
Inspired by Suits.
Yeah, it was
the program.
She was giving Meghan Markle.
But it was definitely, I was predated Suits being a lawyer, so that's even worse, isn't it? But I do think the more, when you've not got a lot, you're so conscious about what you don't have.
Yes.
When you do have that, helpfully, it's not that it's not as big
like,
a deal. It's important, but you're like, okay, the next thing. And so I found the more financially well I am, and I think the more financially well our community member is, and she hits her own goals, you get very comfortable that other people are at different levels of wealth or levels of expenditure or levels of house, and you genuinely are not jealous of them. Mm-hmm. You kind of go, oh, good for you. Whereas at like earlier, it is very, very difficult because you're slogging it over here.
Yeah.
So
thankless task sometimes.
I think it's also good. Sorry, I'm just dragging this on a million times, but I think having someone in your circle that's done that, it shows that it is achievable and like you can do anything that you put your mind to, and like it's not something that you've seen on Instagram in America
it's not
or something.
so far away. If your
Someone's
immediate circle has achieved it, then why can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
Okay. On the topic of handbags.
Oh.
What are the
odds? Like I knew. I actually didn't.
This is a funny dilemma. Have I committed a financial crime?
Oh.
Call the police. Hi all, I'm fairly new to the community and I'm in my first month of budgeting. However, temptation has swung my way and I've purchased a designer bag today. About 70% of the cost was budgeted for, but I still feel guilty. I feel like I have no willpower, but on the other hand, I work hard and deserve a treat. Have I committed a major financial crime?
I saw this one, so it's not like I've cheated, but I do remember.
There is actually updates on it.
I just want to say,
I've not seen it for a while.
I was going to comment, but I feel like there's an update.
I'll let you say. I'll let you say what.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Before we get the update,
and then I'll give you the update.
Has she committed a financial crime? A little bit, yes, because
a misdemeanor.
Yeah. So you might get off on good behaviour. She makes herself seem very reckless until she then says it was 70% was budgeted for. I was like, okay, well, so you plan, yeah. So you're, it's in the plan, and it's not as impulsive as I wasn't planning on. I was going to go in for crisps, and I've walked out with a handbag. Like that's not what she's done. So I'm definitely intrigued to know, like, what it possibly cost and how, if you're on like a debt-free journey, the idea of buying a designer handbag, like there's different levels of designer. That's, could be 1 to 2 months of extra overpayments, and it's consumption behavior, and usually buying things that are shiny and magpie-like are the thing that's caused the debt. And so it's really hard to then, so there's two things. There's one, there's that bit. There's a second, and because I'm going to call her out a little bit on, but I know it's been banter and she's joking. I've worked hard. I deserve
a treat.
No, you don't.
Oh,
you don't.
I run upstairs and I'm like, I deserve a chocolate bar. It's like that type of mentality, isn't it?
I could convince myself every day I deserve a treat. Like,
Definitely.
I didn't have my full 8 hours, so
yeah, I'm tired today.
I deserve
so
5 coffees.
Biscuits and a brew.
Yeah, so that never ever flies in financial court. No, you don't deserve it.
The fact that she's got a sinking fund makes me think
budgeted.
She's forgiven because she's it's an expense that she has planned for and she's executed on it just earlier than she planned.
Okay. I'm going to add some updates.
Okay.
Live from the community.
Oh.
So this person has said it was on 20% discount sale on holiday. So she couldn't get it anywhere else.
Okay.
She was there then and there.
Okay.
It was a one-time decision.
Discount.
And then we have a photo. I'll do a little description. It's a beautiful black Valentino bag. I'm going to say little handheld bag and a little pocket coming off the side.
Can we see?
Practical.
Practical money bag. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Oh my God, like it's a dog or something. I'm like, that is so nice.
And then more updates. There's been a development in the handbag scandal. The strap broke. The first time I wore it, I took it as a sign from the universe, returned it, didn't replace it as like for like.
So she's
The budget
made
was
money
safe
again.
after all. So
She's made
actually
money again.
better off.
She is.
If that was not the money gods.
Is it called a swizzle? Like, she's got one over on Valentino. She had a wear. It broke. She took it back. Got money
And
back.
didn't replace it.
Didn't replace it. See,
Is that a sign
she
that you
got the
don't
little-
actually want it?
yes, because she
Yeah.
got the little
She got
buzz.
the buzz.
She didn't need the handbag because she'd have gone and found another.
Yeah.
She just got that little dopamine hit.
I want to know now what you're going to use that sinking fund. Will you
Yeah.
continue to fill it?
Is it going to go somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's got the buzz of buying the designer bag and she realises it's not all that. I know it
This
broke,
is a
so
great
that helps.
strategy.
They break.
So just go buy and take it back the next day because you want the buying process. You don't need the bag. Like,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
great fun. Extracurricular
That's so
activity.
true.
Going to
Yeah.
Selfridges, buying,
Maybe I'll check out
taking them
on
back.
something online for once. Just see
No,
where it takes me.
but I think there is the taking back stress, which none of us like
Oh,
either.
no.
No, I'll just leave
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry it didn't work out because she was very excited
I
about
know.
it.
Well done on getting your bag.
It feels like the universe has sorted her out and we don't need to.
Yeah.
She's not in trouble with us.
Definitely.
No, I love
Released from jail.
Is it a
Not
financial
guilty.
crime?
Bail.
Like Judge Judy.
I love
Need a
that.
hammer.
If I remember, all the other community members were like
Yes, you have,
Getting
but
in-
we'll forgive you.
getting involved as well. I don't know what their stance on it was, but
They all said she committed a crime,
Yeah.
but they forgive her. They forgave her.
she's forgiven.
Maybe she subconsciously broke the bag herself because she was like, oh no. Down.
Criminal
jail.
damage.
Oh God.
Okay, here's a nice win. I'm going full force on using the app for my budget this payday. I'm previously an Excel girly, and I don't have my payslip yet to get my exact income. Why am I more excited for this than payday? I just want to run these numbers.
Yeah, I love it. We'll get ahead on the budget.
So
Yeah.
excited doing my budget is. I was going to say it's pathetic. It's actually not.
But it is
Being
exciting.
organised, that feeling of being
It's
organised is
being
incredible.
I love being in control. I love being in control more than anything else. And if I can set my budget and decide where my money's going every month, I get such a buzz from it.
It's
I
because
really
we're
do.
planners. So
Yeah.
it's not the money going into the account,
Yeah.
it's what it can do. Like
Yes.
because they're just numbers. And so most of us, even if we don't budget, get excited about the ability to spend, not to send it places, move it to savings, whatever, not the money going in, because the money going in is literally just figures on a screen. It's the thing behind the plan. And so getting ahead on like your budgets is very exciting. Like sometimes people go too far ahead. I think I've seen people that do them
People
for the
do them
year.
like 6 months out. don't
Yeah,
they?
and then they just adjust them later. But also,
I want the buzz every month.
Yeah.
if
I
you're
need
an
that.
Excel girly, having like it's like having an Excel just on the go, but prettier and easier to keep updated and change figures, and then you get a
Yeah.
nice graph that's done for you immediately. And
No
We have a lot
horrible
of people, don't we,
formulas
that
here.
used to use Excel, like RIP Excel sheets, because they're like,
Literally.
it doesn't really tell me anything. It's really difficult to keep updated. Like you said, the formulas, and you can't update it on the go. People love our app because they could be in the Aldi queue and they know how much it is, and they literally update their, if they're tracking actuals and how much they're spending, can just do it there and then. It's not, the life admin's gone. You're doing it in the moment as you move on. This is all about life admin. I can't recall, I don't know how many years I've been doing Financielle for now, but getting paid and then just not telling my money where to go.
what do people do?
I feel like I need to
Imagine just
budget.
leaving everything.
we need to do a science experiment, and I need to do it for a month and just see, like a
And be
test.
like mentally
Oh
like,
my
okay,
gosh.
mortgage is coming out.
Yes.
So that it's actually that much. And
Would I
it's-
get to the? I want to know how much money I'd get to the end of the month with,
We should do it as an experiment.
just to show you. None. I honestly, I am so indoctrinated into this method that I genuinely don't know what it
That
would be
makes me
like.
feel a
I
bit
can't
sick, if I'm being
remember.
honest.
Yeah, makes me stressed.
Me
But
too.
we are not the norm, remember. But I feel like I should give it a go, just to be like, this is what it's
Definitely.
like.
Yeah.
There's no chance you'd stick to budget. There's no chance.
Well, you
it
wouldn't
just
create a
won't happen.
budget,
Sorry,
would you?
the
That's
men-
the
What I
point,
mean
yeah.
is, so what I mean by stick to budget is you'll run out of money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Confident.
And also that adds in like maths because you have to do the mental maths and
But
it's
they're
like
not even. So the stress is you'd run out of money, but you wouldn't move money to sinking funds. So
That's what I mean
therefore,
there,
when
Oh,
you
yeah,
have a
true.
need in 3 months' time,
You're not going to meet
for the
it.
car, like that is just
my
panic
gosh.
inducing.
that's scary.
Yeah.
If you'd like to share your win, head to the community in the app or email the vault at financielle.com. Okay, this is a hefty dilemma, so sit tight. I don't want to be financially tied to my sister. Hi all, I'm hoping I can get a little insight on how I could possibly handle this situation in the future. My dad and sister moved to Spain in 2017. My dad is retired and my sister works there. We were born in London, but both my parents are Spanish, so we have Spanish and British citizenship. I live in Scotland and my mum lives in London, but is planning on retiring to Spain in September this year. Just to note, our family owns 2 flats in Spain which are rented out and 1 flat in London which is also rented out. My sister and I are not close. I won't go into the specifics, but I do not want to be financially tied to her after my parents are gone, and requested that they split the properties in their wills, so my sister gets the 2 in Spain and I get the flat in London. They have not done this and insisted that all the properties are split 50-50. The will for the property in London is now drawn up. They are currently in the process of writing the will for the Spanish properties. I was hoping to continue renting the property in London and use it to finance a self-build for my family's forever home. I take it I can't do this without her being involved in the remortgage process. My sister has slight learning disabilities and as a result has been protected by my parents her whole life. She has never been allowed to financially manage anything. For example, she's never set up any bills or paid for them herself. My parents manage her money completely. My sister and I have different priorities. She is single and child-free. I have 3 children and want to use my proportion of the inheritance to cement my children's financial future with the benefit of a comfortable retirement. I'm so grateful for my parents for building a strong financial foundation for our inheritance, but I suspect that they have split the assets like this with the expectation that I will solely manage them and just give my sister her financial portion to live off every month. Will it be difficult with her living abroad to manage these properties and divide the rental income between us? Will we need a joint account? Could I manage the properties with minimal contact with her and no requirements for her consent on any decisions I want to take with regards to the properties? Please help.
Wow.
Families and inheritance. Do you know what? Before we even talk about the practicalities of it, there's a couple of things. One, none of us have got an entitlement to inheritance. Like the fact that it's really difficult to be planning ahead on the basis of our parents passing away, and then it's important to do it, but it's really difficult to do because you've no idea how long we're talking about, the practicalities of it, the funding, the inheritance that I get and how I will use it. And it's just kind of, it's better to pretend it's literally doesn't exist, other than you have to plan practically, which we're going to go through. But what I mean is there's like entitlement to it, this like reliance on it.
Yeah, they've said that they're planning to use that to build their own house.
Yeah, no.
When is that going to be? Like,
because I think that'll hold you back so much in coming out with a practical solution here, because you'll feel like it's yours. Don't feel like it's yours first. It is not yours. It is your parents. At any point, they could do anything with these properties. They could sell them. They could just park it because it's not yours. And so mentally, it's actually quite nice to break yourself from that. Secondly, it's very, very difficult with the sister, and the parents have obviously had to, and lots of people will go through this, people with minor or severe disabilities, as a parent of a child that has those difficulties, the worst thing you can think of is when you're gone, and how will they manage. It's no one's job to, though. So, it's really important that you try to speak to your parents about the plans for a couple of things. Getting her some kind of support in managing money, because it doesn't sound like she wouldn't be able to at all. She's just never done it. And sometimes you can also get trustees that can manage money for you, and you get like an allowance. And so there's lots of legal things. Spain's, it might be a little bit different, but you can set up relationships with like corporates, like law firms, and there'll be a trustee of a pile of money and give an allowance. And so if there's a danger that, she would be able to like fritter it all away and then not have anything to live off. I think you have to continue what you're doing with your parents, which is suggest that they need to put a plan in place, because that could happen tomorrow or in 25 years. And I feel like I just wanted to say those two things first, because parents can't require children look after the other child. Like, they can't require that. Like, we've got our own lives to live, haven't we?
Yeah, she said she's got 3 children. That's a big commitment already in itself. So then her sister lives in a different country. Like, there's lots of things to contend with there. It's not someone's down the road. And even then, that's just as difficult. I've seen people with caring responsibilities, and it's really difficult. It's a lot to ask for somebody, but also, conscious that the biggest fear for them is when they go, what's going to happen to the other daughter? But it sounds like it's non-negotiable for her. It's not like, oh, I'll look after this, that and the other. It does feel quite complicated to keep all the properties in the way that they plan to.
And I think that, but what she has to be brave enough to do, I think, is suggest 2 options. Either she is grateful for whatever inheritance is going to be left to her, and if it comes with it, the responsibility of having to manage certain arrangements with her sister, then you get an inheritance. And so there's I know there's terms to it, but she kind of has to be happy with that. Or if she doesn't want to do that, she's happy to not inherit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can't come with so many terms. For me, there's loads of extra complications here, which is why, the family, making sure it sounds like they're getting the paperwork drawn up across 2 countries for the different properties, having a legal input into one, like, does her sister have the capacity to make a legal decision? Because if there's mortgages involved on the properties, and if the 2 of them need to be both approving of whether you sell something, knowing that she's fully able to do that, and there's lots of paperwork for it. Because it might be that once the parents pass away, they both sit down and decide, actually, sometimes we hold on to property and think that the rental from it's helpful, but actually sometimes it's better to sell and cut ties and have a pot of money that is divided equally. And if it's used to fund a build, or if it's used to, that could be in 25 years' time, you might have already built the thing you want to build and it could be funded for something else. At least you've not got the complications. So I feel like you do have to try and get your parents on side here, which is, I don't want to do that, so therefore, could we not come up with something more practical? And if we can't, then don't include me, will. But I just don't think you can give an ultimatum, which is, you have to do it the way I want. Help them get advice, which brings it to a much cleaner. I think clean is the word I want.
Especially if her sister's got learning difficulties, you want to keep it as simple as possible. That could invoke a lot of like fear or in her as well.
But does she really want to become a landlord if she's not managing her own money? And I think what she's saying is, so they want me to do that bit.
Yes.
And so it's kind of saying, well, I don't want to do that bit. And it's much cleaner to be able to sell assets, have a whole estate, have it split like in the right way. And like I said, put something in place for the sister that supports her to be like money and cash flow to be managed. And so that she's got money to be cared for and looked after. And on that basis, you might find that, they're in 2 different countries. It doesn't sound like they're going to be the best of buddies, like not best of friends, but in each other's pockets. But it may actually improve the relationship with the sister. She may be holding back because she's like, I don't want to become my sister's carer. That's not in my plan. I've got my own family that I've got to provide for. But very difficult families of money, especially when you're talking about it's hopefully, and it sounds like this is just planning ahead and it's not something that's on the horizon. So part of you does have to think, like, she's already thinking, I'm going to use the income and fund it for a self-build.
I wonder how many people live their lives based on the inheritance that they think they're going to get.
Oh, it's massive.
So they don't plan for their own life. They don't live their own life because they're just like waiting for that day when that money's going to land in their account. We were talking about it in the car, weren't we? In fact, people get scared about inheritance tax, but I think we spoke about that.
Less than 5% of people worry pay about inheritance tax.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing that's very political.
Yes.
Very, very political thing, and each party has a different view in it. And listen, people with lots of wealth are very, very vocal about it, but we're talking about less than 5% of families would end up having to pay it. So the people get stressed about that, but also the fact, I think people, as a person writing a will, I think it's our job, and we all should have a will. So go get a will if you don't have one. We should all think about making it simple for the people left behind, requiring that someone continues to rent out a flat. Just like, it's not yours then. Like, kind of park it and don't put pressures on future generations. If you're going to, give a gift of wealth, that's wonderful. But don't have loads of terms and conditions attached to that. Because
the simplicity is like a gift in itself, isn't it? Yeah.
Especially with everything that's going on. And clear out all your stuff.
While you're at it, you cleared your house, you cleared your study this weekend. You feel like you're on a roll.
That's the biggest thing with people when you speak to someone and they've lost, like maybe like old workplaces, when you speak to someone and it's an older relative that's passed away.
It's
the
traumatic.
biggest thing is going through the person's stuff. So I read something the other day that was like, the most selfless thing you can do is make sure that you're not like hoarding loads of crap in your loft and in your garage and in like a lockup or whatever, and declutter your home every year and just continue to get rid of stuff, because it's not fair. And the person that's left behind, they want to invest their time thinking about the good things. And it's nice going through memory boxes, don't get me wrong, but all the practical, like, we need to get rid of this and ring this removal to get rid of that, a spare bed in a spare room that's not been slept in for like 20 years, all those things.
I don't know, I definitely got this view that when you are having families, like, you want a bigger and bigger house, and then you get fed up of how big they are and you want a smaller and smaller house. And I love the idea that when I'm retired, I've got like a neat, clean little apartment,
bachelor pad.
A bachelorette pad that literally just I can
just a sofa,
minimalist.
Giving Kim Kardashian's
That's a
house.
great idea.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian's got it right. Unless she's got a cupboard, she's definitely got a shit cupboard where you shove everything in and hope for the best.
She probably owns the most stuff in the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where is it all? She hasn't even got a sink.
That's her front of house kitchen.
Yeah.
She'll have a commercial kitchen with a chef prepping away in the background. And a shit cupboard. She'll have a shit drawer with like
Why no one knows where they got from.
Allen key from all the IKEA furniture. I've got about 20.
Plastic, but I'm sure there's nothing from IKEA.
Yeah, garbage. Some meatballs halfway through, Kim. Okay. Any final words on this fine Thursday?
Get your family to clear out the stuff. And get a will. That's one of the things that people...
I think a good thing to take from that is that, like, there's an open conversation about wills.
Absolutely.
They might not be listening to each other, but it's not like a taboo topic for them.
It's not, and to not overthink that process. Like I said, there's like sometimes there's free will months in different countries. You can usually if we talk between a mortgage and mortgage, pensions and wills, large amounts of money, but there's things that we don't want to pay for help with.
Yeah, we're tight as a nation.
Of pots that we ever can give or can receive, and having a professional walk you through it can be. And sometimes you let us once, and then you stick with it for quite a few years until a big event like a marriage or a death happens, or a big financial change. You don't even need to, but people don't take advice for stuff like that. And I just think it's the best thing that you can do for yourself, but also for your family. And like I said, it's one of the toughest things you can go through to lose someone. So complicated inheritance structure or plan that also, like, from beyond the grave requires someone to do something. Like, you don't want that to be the lasting legacy of you, that I've got this proper
last drop of chaos.
Now you've said it like that.
You're like, actually, I'm gonna make a plan, I'm gonna wind everyone up.
Line, enjoy, full stop.
I'll leave you to work it out between yourselves.
Like an Easter egg hunt.
Oh God, I would love that. All I'm thinking is Saltburn Mansion, and like everyone comes in, we're going to read the will. Isn't it a Taylor Swift video where she's like, the whole thing about my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, I know.
And she thinks I've left her in the will. Oh, I'd love it, that. Bit of drama. I promise I won't, but it would be fun. Again, movie star of my own life.
Ollie's in the dress.
I'm in the gentleman. Yeah, I've got the dress. It's done.
That's all for this episode. The vault is now closed. Just a disclaimer, the vault is just a chat around life and money topics, and we are not giving financial advice.